Hi guys, how's it going? Been a little bit. This is Drogs from Fully Painted Miniatures, and once again, I'm going up against Crooked Mask, expert difficulty. He is kicking my butt, and this will be my 11th attempt against him. I also haven't played in about a week since I recorded my last video, and I didn't reset the. Normally, after a match, I make all my decisions on how I'm going to change up my store and mages and things like that based on how that match went. And I try to do that right away because otherwise I forget what happened. And so I didn't do that this time. So if you watch my video for my 10th attempt, I'm just going to do the exact same store setup and mage setup because I honestly don't remember how it went. I just know I lost. But I've lost so many times, I get them all mixed up now. I did feel like I'm getting closer. So I'm using Brahma and Mist. Brahma's special ability allows any player to gain 4 life. Mist allows Brahma to draw in an additional 4 cards. So Mist is going to help counteract the small hand size that you end up getting through Crooked Mask, through the corruption cards. And then Brahma's healing is going to help offset the corruption cards, and especially the additional corruption cards that you get because of the drawing the additional cards. As far as my store goes, I'm going to use Sifter's Pearl. Gain 2. Allows you to reveal the top card of your deck and then discard. Very useful for getting rid of corruptions. Searing Ruby. Gain 2 Aether. Gain 3 towards a spell. Burning Opal, gain 3 Aether. You may discard a card in your hand to allow your ally to draw a card. So that's going to be my another way to gain some additional cards. Focusing Orb allows you to focus your breach and destroy it to gain life to Gravehold. And Mage's Talisman to generate charges for both mages. I then have Spectral Echo. This is going to allow me to get rid of some of my starting cards. I then took Ignite. 4 cost, deal 2 damage, ally gains a charge. This is the only one I'm like kind of contemplating swapping out right now. I'm pretty happy with everything else. Chaos Arc does 3 damage plus 2 for each additional spell. I could swap this one out too. This one I had in there because I think it's kind of necessary when you're using Kadir because you can double prep breaches, but it's still a really solid card either way around, all the way around. And then Arcane Nexus. This is I think a required card, as well as Sifter's Pearl for Crooked Mask. So it's 7 cost, deals 4 damage, but allows you to double play gems. So that really makes a huge difference because quite often you end up with only 3 cards in your hand. So to have that prepped and then double cast a gem actually allows you to, still have an effective turn. All right, so we're just going to get started and see how this goes. All right, Miss is going to start. She's going to prep Spark, and she's going to pay 4 a Searing Ruby. Nemesis is going to go. I have nothing to discard, spend 6 Aether, power 2, unleash twice. That's not great. Alright, Brahma's going to go. She's going to prep Buried Light, and she's going to spend 4 also on a Ruby. I do want, so last game I do remember I got my economy going really strong, and that made a big difference just in my ability to purchase charges and keep my special abilities up. Alright, missed again. She's going to cast Spark for 1 damage. Excuse me. Bringing Crooked Mask to 69. She will then pay 3 to open her second breach. And prep both Sparks. And Brahma's going to cast Buried Light. That's going to do 1 damage. And generate 1 Aether. And she will spend 4 to open her second breach. And then prep both Sparks. So I did manage to get both second breach is open, so that's really good. Nemesis. We're going to pull a power token off of I Have Nothing. And we're going to pull out the Corruptor. He has 6 life. He deals 1 damage to Gravehold every turn, but every time you attack him, you gain a corruption card. So ideally, you wanna one-shot him with a 6 damage attack. If otherwise, try to do 2 damage or 3 damage, 3 damage attacks, so you gain 2 cards. Which you can do. You can one-shot him with a Chaos Arc, potentially, if I can get one early. All right, Brahma's going to go next. She's going to cast both Sparks, dealing 2 damage to Crooked Mask, brings him to 66. And she will spend 6 to discard the Eye of Nothing. She gets to go again. She will prep Buried Light and Spark, and for 3, she will buy a Spectral Echo. We get Mist. She's going to cast 2 Sparks, 2 damage to Crooked Mask. She will prep nothing. Oh, okay. And she has 3, 4, 6, 7 towards a spell, and she will buy Arcane Nexus. Okay. Nemesis gets to go. Corruptor does 1 damage to Gravehold, brings us to 29. Excuse me. Tempt. The player with the most crystals in hand discards all their crystals, suffers 3 damage, and gains a card from any supply pile that costs 4 or less. Okay, I'm going to do Brahma. They both have 3, so I get to choose. But I'm going to pick Brahma for this because she kind of missed out on her turn paying for the... to discard the Nemesis card. So she takes 3 damage, and she's going to gain a focusing orb. Do I want a second ruby? Yeah, that's fine. And that discards all 3 crystals. Okay. Miss gets to go. She's going to prep 2 Sparks, and with her 3, she will buy a Spectral Echo. I do want Sifter's Pearls, but I think it's important for them each to have 1 Spectral Echo early. Okay, Nemesis gets to go again. So Corruptor does 1 damage to Gravehold. And we draw Burden. The players collectively gain 2 corruptions. Place them on top of their decks. Any player focuses a breach. We are going to focus Brahma's 4th breach. Okay, start. They each have a ruby. Mist has an Arcane Nexus. They each have a Spectral Echo. And Brahma also has a focusing orb. So, okay. I would like to get some more gems in there for sure. All right, so Mist first. 2 Sparks, 2 damage, 2 Crooked Mask. Brings him to 62. We're then going to prep Arcane Nexus and a Spark. All right, and then this generates 2 power. The ruby I get to cast twice because once prepped, once per turn during your main phase, when you return a gem you play to your hand. So I can double play the ruby. So that's 4 Aether, 6 towards a spell. 5, 6. So 6 Aether, 8 towards a spell that generates. I could also insta-cast the Arcane Nexus if I wanted to. So 6, 8 towards a spell, huh? So I could grab 2 Sifter's Pearls, 2 Ignites, Spectral Echo, and a Mage's Talisman. That'd be kind of cool. Spectral Echo and a Burning Opal. Or I could grab another Arcane Nexus. I really wish it was 8 total. Ooh, that's tempting too. Okay, I'm going to grab a Spectral Echo and a Mage's Talisman for 8. Pretty cool. So that way she has 2 Spectral Echoes to help me start to destroy these starting cards. And she has a Mage's Talisman. So the idea there is she'll be able to curate her deck a little bit faster, and she'll get that Mage's Talisman popping up more often. All right, and now we get Brahma. She's going to cast Buried Light and Spark for 2 damage. Brings Crooked Mass to 60. That also generates 1 Aether. She'll prep Spark. And so with the Searing Ruby, that's 3 Aether, 4 towards a spell. So I could grab an Ignite, would be the most efficient, or a Sifter's Pearl. I'll grab the Ignite. Okay, she gets to go again. First thing that happens is the Corruption card. Suffer 1 damage. That brings her from 7 to 6. You may destroy a non-corruption card in your hand. We will destroy Crystal. We will then cast Spark. 1 damage. Brings Crooked Mass to 59. We'll prep Spectral Echo. And with 2 power, can't really do anything except purchase a charge. 2 Aether. I'm sorry. So not a great turn, but it is what it is. All right. Then we get Mist. Her Corruption card activates. Gravehold suffers 3 damage, gain 2 life. So the life does nothing, so I'm going to swap that over to Brahma. But Gravehold drops to 25. Excuse me. I will then cast Arcane Nexus. There's no point in holding it on with just crystals. And that will do 4 damage to the Corruptor. Brings him down to 2. I will gain a Corruption card from that, though. The Spark, however, will attack Crooked Mass directly. Brings him to 58. I will then prep Spectral Echo. And for 3, I will buy a Sifter's Pearl. Definitely need some gems. Nemesis gets to go. Corruptor does 1 more damage to Gravehold. Brings me to 24. And we draw the Banesire. Alright, this guy's got 6 life. And he unleashes on every activation. And Nemesis goes again. So that means Gravehold takes 1 damage. And we unleash. So that's going to be... We're going to give that to Brahma. Corruption card. And that means taking the discard pile and shuffling it in. And that's the end of the 3rd round. So that should be all of the tier 1 cards. I feel okay. I would feel better if Brahma had an Arcane Nexus or a Chaos Arc. She only has 1 Spectral Echo and 1 Ignite for damaging spells. Mist is a little better. She has an Arcane Nexus and 2 Spectral Echoes. And Mage's Talisman. Brahma has 1 Focusing Orb. They each have 1 Ruby, and I believe they each have 1 Sifter's Pearl. So, okay. Brahma's got 6 life and 1 charge. Mist has 10 life. I feel, yeah. Gravehold took a little bit too much damage for my liking. I don't like that. So Gravehold takes another point of damage, and we unleash again. This time we'll do it on Mist, just to be fair and make it harder on myself. So definitely getting too many corruption cards for this early in the game. I have been getting lots of sparks off on Crooked Mask, but I really, I would have really benefited from having some higher damage spells. I should have grabbed an early Ignite, I feel like, because then I would have been, I don't know, gotten maybe 3 more damage done on Crooked Mask with a couple charges for one of them. Alright, I still need to draw a Nemesis card. Unleash, Gravehold suffers 3 damage. So we're just going to have that to Mist again because she's got 10 life. Give that another little quick shuffle. So not feeling great about the corruption cards. And Gravehold suffers 3 damage, right? So that brings me to 19. Not so hot. Okay. Mist turn, corruption card. Gain a spell from any supply pile. Arcane Nexus. Gain 3 corruptions. Place them on top of your deck. There's only 2 corruptions left. Gonna give that one to Brahma. Okay. Oh, yeah. I almost skipped her turn. She will cast Spectral Echo. 2 damage, killing the Corruptor. That does give her another corruption card, though. She will destroy a Spark. She will then prep a Spark, and she will buy a charge. Not a great turn. So definitely feel like I've fallen behind the curve. There's this invisible little, you know, call it an 8-ball or whatever. Look at that terrible hand. There's kind of this point of control, and you're either behind it, at it, or ahead of it. When you're ahead of it, the game feels really easy. It's really pretty simple to take down the Nemesis. It's like your success is almost guaranteed. Everything you do just like puts you further and further ahead. If you're behind it, it's kind of the opposite, and every action you take, you fall further and further behind. And then there's kind of that sweet spot where you're actually having an even game, which is, I don't even think that's happened to me yet. Right now I'm definitely behind. Okay. Brahma. She's going to cast Spectral Echo to deal 2 damage. Oh. Why does Corruptor have no life? Did I already kill the Corruptor? I did. Yeah. That 2 damage is going to hit Banesire. Drops him to 4. And we will destroy Crystal. She'll use Focusing Orb to open her 4th breach. And for 3, she will... Oop. She'll buy another Spectral Echo. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. Like, out of my 2 hands that are available, I have 10 cards, and 6 of them are corruption cards. Only 4 are player cards, and all 4 of them are starting player cards. So that's just garbage. Like, I'm kind of screwed. All right, Mist. So I get 4 corruption cards. So for 1 damage, brings her to 9. Gain 1 charge. It's fine. She can keep that. Gravehold suffers 2 damage. Brings her to 17. Focus a breach. Her 3rd breach. She can keep that. Take 2 more damage. And gain a Sifter's Pearl into her hand. I will move that to Brahma. And suffer 1 damage. Return any card that costs 0 to your hand. Crystal. Destroy this. Okay. She'll then cast Spark for 1 damage to the Banesire. Brings him to 3. And then she generates 4 power. And the Sifter's Pearl allows them to each reveal their card. So that 4 power... Oh, man. Do I want a Ruby, a Focusing Orb? or ignite. She needs the focusing orb. If I don't, I need to focus on those. Ironically, I need to get those breaches open. Not that I have a lot of spells, but it's more that I want to destroy them for healing Gravehold. Gravehold's taking way too much damage. All right, Brahma's turn. Okay. So she has to discard Crystal and Spark while taking 2 damage. Brings her to 4 life. But that allows me to shuffle a player turn order card back into the deck. We will shuffle Mists. I'm looking away as I'm shuffling these, so I don't actually know what's what. And then Gravehold suffers 3 more damage, drops it to 14, but she gains 2 life. So that offsets that a little bit, brings her back up to 6. So the only thing she can do is prep Buried Light. And that ends her turn. Okay, we do get Mist next. Gain a relic from place it on top of your deck. Pay equal half its cost. So I can take a Focusing Orb for 2 damage or a Mage's Talisman for 3. I'll take a Focusing Orb because 3 is just a lot of damage. Leaves her with 4 life. She'll prep Arcane Nexus. That allows her to double cast Sifter's Pearl. Hi puppies, how you doing? Alright, you guys want a treat really quick? Yeah. Peanut butter biscuit. Yeah. They were just playing outside and came in on their own. And they're being good. Alright, so that allows me to double cast Sifter's Pearl. So that's 4 power, 5, 6, 5, Aether, sorry. And allows me to double discard. And I will discard this. No, hold on there. So 4, 5, 6 Aether. Oh, no jump. No. What do I want? Do I want 2 Sifter's Pearls? Or a Chaos Arc? Guys, no. Daddy's shooting the video. No jump. Down. None of that. Go lay down. If you're good while I record the video, you'll get a treat. But you gotta lay down or go play with a toy, okay? Yeah. I'm gonna take 2 Sifter's Pearls for that 6 because I have way too many corruption cards, and that's my only real way of mitigating them. And I do not have charges up yet. My health is a little bit too low at this point to really mess around with that. So I need some other mitigation there. All right, that's a nice little hand. Okay, Nemesis is going to go, so that's an Unleash. We're just going to give that to Mist. We do not want this corruption card activating. This does 6 damage to Gravehold from now on for the rest of the game, every time it comes up. So I'm already, even though I still got, tier 1 cards out there, I'm already in a very dangerous spot where I could lose the game very quickly. And I do not have my engine set up very well at all. Yeah. And we get the Pain Sower, 11 life. Any player suffers 2 damage. Different player focuses a breach. So he is dangerous too. Yeah, I put my odds at winning at like 5%. I mean, I can't imagine this going that well. I didn't get my economy going very well early on. So I didn't get... I have 2 Arcane Nexus cards, which is nice, but I have 0 Chaos Arcs. I only have 1 Mage's Talisman. I have 0 Burning Opals. I just didn't quite get what I needed to really get the ball rolling early. All right. We will start with Mist. She's got no corruption cards for once. That's nice. She will cast Arcane Nexus and kill the Banesire. 4 damage. She has 3 life. So not perfectly efficient, but that's all right. She will prep Spectral Echo and Spark. Mage's Talisman will generate 1 charge for each of them. Brings her to 3, Brahma to 2. And then she generates 3 power, 4 towards a spell. Do I want to Ignite or Sifter's Pearl? She's going to grab the Ignite. Okay. Brahma. Suffer 1 damage. You may destroy a non-corruption card in your hand. She will destroy a crystal. She will then cast Buried Light. It's going to do 2 damage because of the 4th breach. This brings the Pain Sower from 11 to 9 and generates an Aether. She will then prep Ignite and Spark. And she has Surrey Ruby, 3, 4 towards a spell. Same kind of thing. I guess she'll take an Ignite too. It generates charges. It's a solid little spell. Okay, it does get to go again. That's nice. So the Spark plus the Ignite. Spark does 1. The Ignite's going to do 3. So that's 4 damage to the Pain Sower. Brings him down to 5. And that gives Mist a charge. So she's now at 4 charges. So that's pretty cool. We then get 2 Spectral Echoes. 1 to the 2nd, 1 to the 4th. And a Focusing Orb. Now, what do I want to do with the Focusing Orb? I think I'm going to focus Mist's 3rd breach, so we can try to get that open for her. And then I will buy a charge. So that puts Brahma at 3. Not a great hand. 2 corruption cards, 2 crystals, and a spark coming up. So that's another wasted turn. All right, Nemesis goes. Pain Sower is going to do 2 damage to Brahma. Because why not? And that will open Mist's 3rd breach. Unleash twice. Any player suffers 2 damage. So the Unleash twice is going to do 4 damage to Gravehold, drops us to 10. And any player suffers 2 damage, so Mist drops to 2 life. Not good. Nemesis goes again. So Brahma takes 2 damage again. She's down to 1 life. But that focuses Mist's breach. And we get the Venomite. 9 life. Does 2 damage to a player with the lowest life. Unless you discard a card. Prep spell worth 3 or more. So, yay. All right, we get Mist. Eye of War, suffer 1 damage, deal 2 damage. So that drops her to 1. Unfortunately, this card is going to exhaust Brahma, so I'm going to lose all my charges. But that deals 2 damage to the Pain Sower, brings him down to 3. I'm about to lose this game. Spectral Echo and Spark will do 3 damage, killing the Pain Sower. So that's nice. I don't have anything I want to destroy with the Sifter's Pearls. I'll use Focusing Orb on her 4th breach. And then 3 Sifter's Pearls will first allow me to activate this 3 times. Wow. Super useful. And that gives me 6 Aether. So with that 6, I will buy a Focusing Orb and a charge, which I will then use to allow Brahma to draw 4 additional cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. She did get a corruption card, which sucks, but still. it still gives her 6 cards in her hand instead of 2 or whatever it was. That did use up all of missed charges though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that will be your next hand. So not good. Brahma's going to get exhausted on her next activation. And Mist only has 1 life. So that's going to cost Brahma her 3 charges. So somehow I need to get her ability up to heal Mist or I'm going to lose the game. Very, very, very quickly. I also need to start... somehow, hopefully I can get all those breaches open first, but I don't think that's likely. Okay, pay over the lowest life suffers 3 damage. We're not doing that, so we're going to discard Spectral Echo to stop the Venomite's attack. And then we draw a Cauterizer. Has 3 life, also deals damage to players equal to its current life. So, good. Okay. Gravefold suffers 2 damage, drops us to 8. But that will open her 4th breach. Sweet. And then she will prep Arcane Nexus. Focusing Orb, she will destroy to give... Oh, I'm sorry, destroy, not discard. Why is it paint over here? That will heal Gravefold from 8 to 11. And then she'll buy a charge for 2. Oh, wait. I guess she can double cast a crystal, so that's actually 3. And she'll buy a Sifter's Pearl instead. Put that charge back. Man, it's not even the corruption cards that screw me up so much, it's the shuffling from the Unleashes. Once you shuffle your deck, you just... everything, I don't know what anything's going to come out, and you just get these really random orders and just super inefficient, wasted turns. All right, Brahma. Let's see. That's going to make her take 2 damage. That's going to make her take 2 damage. That's going to make her take 1 damage. So the first one, she's going to take 1 damage. No, guys, it's okay. Suffer 1 damage, destroy Spark. She becomes exhausted, loses all 3 charges. Her first breach gets destroyed. No, that's enough. Hey, no treat. Yeah. You gotta be good while I record if you want a treat. Okay? That also forces Crooked Mass to unleash twice, so it's gonna do 4 damage to Gravehold, dropping us to 7. Okay, that's just the first corruption. And then... I lost the game. Okay. This does 2 damage to Brahma, which becomes 4 damage to Gravehold. Brings us to 3. And then I get a Sifter's Pearl, which is nice. And then I gotta discard these 2 crystals. But I take 2 damage, which does 4 damage to Gravehold. Brings us to -1. And that's game. So, lessons learned. That didn't take very long for me to lose, first of all. Chaos Arc was useless. Never got enough gems for Burning Opal. So I kind of feel like I screwed up twice. It just feels really inefficient in terms of like getting your cards that you buy. So you have to make them even more worthwhile. So I didn't get enough gems, so my economy didn't get going. But I also wish I had gotten more damaging cards, either Spectral Echo or Ignites, early. Because I didn't get to destroy enough cards, I feel like, considering I bought 4 Spectral Echoes. And I didn't get to use Spectral Echoes or Ignites on Crooked Mask, which would have dropped him, if I had gotten those early, maybe he'd be at like 50 life right now. I definitely never got my damage going. So, yeah. I think I'm going to swap out Ignite for Lava Tendril. And I'm going to look and think about swapping something else out for KSR. Maybe something cheaper that's a little bit better damage. Although KSR is the best way to deal 7 damage early and one-shot that Corruptor if I can get it. Let's see. Lava Tundra for sure. No. I don't want to do anything that forces me to discard. No, I don't want to do anything that makes me discard. No, I don't want 3. Or. All right. All right, I'll swap out Feral Lightning. There was a wildfire whip in the back. Okay, so I'm going to swap out the Ignites for Lava Tendril and Chaos Arc for Feral Lightning. So both of those spells do 3 damage. One's a 4 cost, one's a 5. Feral Lightning I can prep to close breaches. Lava Tendril, if I leave it uncasted, it'll do 1 damage, so it's like free sparks if you prep them early. Which I feel like, that might be more efficient over the long term. It's actually a very efficient damage spell. I really should be using that. I'm going to keep Mage's Talisman for the charge generation. I think I'm going to keep everything else the same. I still like Mist and Brahma. I never got Brahma's special ability off, which is why, died. But even Gravehold took, I mean, I got to get a better economy right off the bat. Instead of going for Sifter's Pearls, I went for Spectral Echoes early. And I don't feel like, and it did let me, get rid of some of my starting cards, but it still never made my decks like bespoke, efficient decks. Like, look how fat these things are. I'm not getting, didn't allow me to, that Mage's Talisman I got early on, I still only used it once the entire game. So even though she had 2 Spectral Echoes and got that Mage's Talisman early, I still only had that Mage's Talisman come up once. So that idea there didn't work out. I would have been better off buying a Burning Opal and 2 Sifter's Pearls. So I'm going to go heavy on the gems. And we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Thanks for watching as always. Love you guys. Bye-bye.